So turn your mic on, Mike. There you are, buddy. Go for it. Michael Renz.
Well, thank you very much, and welcome everyone to the call here tonight, the Zoom. I shut the phone down, like I said today, because she's going to be a wild one here the next few days. And boy, we've been working hard here to get everything off the ground. Mark, it's an honor to be working with you. I'm truly blessed to have you within the group here. Mike Dew said, when you hear this Mark guy talk, you'd follow you through fire and ice. And it's just a privilege and honor, both you guys of the Florida lifestyle down there. We're going to be cold up here in a couple months. So pretty exciting time. So I just say this for me, I just unpacking here. I got my little, when I first got the call from Andrew, I was a sales manager at Coca-Cola. I spent 15 years managing a grocery store, the biggest one in town here in my hometown where Andy's from, our little town of Eau Claire. And when I got divorced, I went out to play rock and roll, and my managers are like, well, you can't, you're a manager here, you can't, and I said, yeah, no problem. When I got up with the country band and rocked out for the Christmas party, right? And I'm like, well, you can't really be, doing that. And I'm just like, well, I'll see you later. I went and got hired at Coke, and they were all in. I played Rock Fest, and all the employees showed up, and opened for like Rat, Skid Row, Bad Company, Firehouse, Head East. The bands just rolled through here, and I got all the opening shows. And then I shut her down, and I moved to Minneapolis. My kids went off to school, and I just, rocking in my mid 40s. I was just midlife crisis breakdown. And I got a call from Andy. I knew him through a friend of a friend. I got this call. Hey, this is Andy Burling. And I'm like, Andy with Fred and Frank? Yeah, man. I'm over in Hawaii. I just made $250,000 here in a couple months. What's your email? And I'm like, I don't have an email. I shut down life and just transferred with Coke. And he sent me these gas tablets, and he said, come up to Hayward. I'll be up there fishing all summer. By the way, I just bought a new Escalade, new boat, new camper, and I'll be up there all summer. And I'm going, but you live in Minneapolis? He goes, yeah, come up and see me. I'll be fishing all summer. And I remember going up there. It was on Memorial Day weekend, and I remember looking at his back office, and I'm like, you kidding me? 2 weeks, you make more than I make in a year. I was a sales manager at Coca-Cola, working 60 hours a week. And when I came back home and the product showed up, I even got my little FF5 gold pin here. It was my first little rank, and it's good to be back full circle, because it's going to be a whole different game here now with the experience we have. But everybody around me said, this ain't going to work. What are you thinking? And I'm like, am I going to listen to you that hate your job? My people I knew around here, and I like blew past everybody I knew. And I went to my ex-boss. I went to the liquor manager. I went to the petroleum manager, and I went to everybody over my head, because they trusted me. And I had that network of people from the business world. And then I had that network of the other people, right? The no-sayers, the ones that hate their jobs. And I went on to have them sample this product, and I'm telling you, when the phone started ringing, and I had this guy with a minivan with 140,000 miles on it. That bad boy jumped 6-8 miles a gallon. The guy from the petroleum company calling, the worst Gala plumbing guys got involved, the mortar guys got involved, the hot rod guys, the transmission guys, the rental guys, and I'm like, this is insane, because all of a sudden the checks started coming in, and everybody, and I said, guys, am I going to listen to you that hate your job, or a friend of mine, now a really good friend of mine, one of my best friends, is knocking down more money in 2 weeks than I make in a year? It's pretty simple which way I'm going with this. And I went on, and I got the whole big picture, and I knew nothing. I just knew that if he could do it, I could do it. And this was a journey for me, and it filled a void in my life, leaving all that behind, all the cars, all the running wild and partying and rock and roll and all that. And so then I learned to be an entrepreneur, moved around a little bit, figured out the things that I needed to learn, and learned the internet, and learned how to drive traffic and brand myself and pump content, and went on to hit diamond and 2 different companies, hit double diamond in one company, hit 4-star in another company, and have been able to do this full time for the last 10 years. And I can say that the journey that it takes is priceless. The ability at 50 years old or 48 to 59, and not that I got rich, and not that I made a fortune, but to be able to have the freedom that you can achieve from doing the work. And as bad as the world got over the last 2 years, I still made a full-time income in my company that's down 60, 80%, because of the work that I did 3 years ago. So it's like, don't underestimate the timing, don't underestimate the product. This is a whole different scenario because in all these other companies, it's the skincares during the day, women that need it, or evening during the day, the weight loss may or may not use it, the targeted market of the different types of products and demographics of that use and the high cost of it. Here, I mean, them gas pumps are running 24/7, 365. Everybody's pumping at the tank. And when I had a guy just run a Ford F-150, and he's probably on the Zoom right now, he's calling and telling me that his catalytic converter dropped a couple hundred degrees. And I'm like, I don't have time to hear all this stuff. And Kevin, I know you're on here, but he said the first tank, he went from 15.8 to 19.4. And it's just beginning to use. I mean, this product that cycles out the carbon in your mortar, puts a polish like a ceramic coating on your cylinders, the back of your heads, your valves, your pistons, your whole fuel system, from the tank all the way out the exhaust. And normally all that on-burn exhaust is piled up in your converter and it's screaming heat. So when people pull out those converters to gain more performance, which is more or less illegal to do, but everybody does it, now it's throwing all that on-burn gas out your tank. So when you run this in a lawnmower, snowblower, boat, mortar, it don't matter what you run it in. First of all, I'd go get your emissions checked because that number is going to show you the difference. Second of all, after you run a few tanks, pull out your spark plug, and it don't matter how old it is or what it looks like, it's going to be spotless. You can wipe it on your hand and you won't get dirty. And you'll see a little red polish on it. And if you want to be a hero, pull the head off your lawnmower or take one off your car if you really want to tear it apart and see for yourself. Because the difference in performance, like in my Boss 302, it's worth 200 grand. I can feel, I only got 92 in there, it needs 110. The car's an old school race car. And I can feel the RPM difference with this product. The difference of that 8 to 12, which is more like 20%, that on-burn fuel in the combustion chamber is pushing max combustion, which is pushing my car to a more peak performance. And I mean, when these truckers, I mean, think of this, these truckers paying $6 plus for 4 miles a gallon on diesel, the product on this. And we've had people on calls that have said this product has outdone any of the competitors. In other companies, they're fully aware that this product outproduced everything. And when you got a trucking company dumping that in that dirty diesel and that mortar goes to peak performance, the numbers on diesel is literally insane. We had diesel trucks going from 4 miles a gallon to 5.5. And even a half mile is a massive gain. So, I mean, imagine this, you got somebody that does a test run on a 100-gallon tank and they buy the little 5-tank run of 500 gallons, and it shows the type of money they're going to save and they feel how their vehicle's running. But what if somebody's got 10 semis? Or my daughter-in-law has a ton of connections of farmers and her sister spends $8 grand on fuel every other month. Well, how does a $2,000 savings go? Times 6. Would they like to save 12 grand? You know anyone else? And I'm telling you that the volume of these bulk orders of these customers and potentially distributors buying this for 40 semis, buying this for their in-ground tanks, for their farms, the bank of that volume and the bank of those commissions, my guess it'll probably be a $300 pack, probably paying 60 and 150 points. That volume BV has enough volume to drive anybody to diamond, double diamond, triple diamond, just from some high caliber type of volume manufacturing, commercial type accounts. We've already got people talking to small trucking companies that use tens of thousands of gallons. So I mean, the picture is wide open. But most of all, I just want to say this, that we can put your next door neighbor in this, and if she's a single mom and she's struggling right now, that we have the ability to put her in something that if she simply turns that product with samples, that their phone's going to ring off the wall. And if we help her get a few sales in, we can help her make an extra $500 this month or 500 a week. And when you have a ton of people doing that and you have helped them that stay with you, that are solid, confirmed to be a part of this organization, that's how everybody wins. We have a lot of people making a little bit of money and we help them grow that business and being servant leaders to deliver the expectation of what we commit to. This is an absolute home run. So, and about Andy Burling, I just say thank you, Andy. Everything you've done for me, like you see my lifestyle and how I roll. I mean, I work like an animal, but I even play even harder than that. So because of you and your wife, it's been a blessing on my life. And thank you for putting this all together. I've been wild out of my mind. So thank you very much, Blaine.
Hey, that was fantastic. Why don't you just real quickly, I love all the guitars on the back wall, by the way. I like that V guitar. That looks, I could see you rocking out with that, Garth. I love it.
That's a 1968 Flying V before I cut it up and made it like a Michael Schenker with all the custom stuff. After I modified it and custom painted it, the guy tried to buy it back, sold me the wrong one. He had 3 of them and it ended up being a 1968. If I wouldn't have butchered it, it's probably worth 10, 15 grand, but it's that's all I had when I got divorced. I had to rebuild my collection.
Yeah, that's how you started. That's how you started rebuilding your life. I love it. Well, listen, and by the way, are you married?
Yeah, I've been married for 12 years now and got a wonderful wife, beautiful wife. She's a sales manager, or she manages insurance, heavyweight insurance through Medicare. And, she used to have a corporate job and now she's a contractor from home. And that's why with my grandkids here, my mom at 81, in-laws on the lake, and my whole network of people here, we just packed up from Minneapolis and moved out of the jungle, and we're out south of town in the rolling hills. I leave my driveway and every road's smooth and hilly and the bluffs, and I don't have to go 300 miles, 400 miles to get out and crank on my car.
I love it. And by the way, your wife's name is?
It's Tammy Renz.
Tammy Renz. Michael and Tammy Renz. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you taking the time out. Some of you might be thinking, well, again, I mentioned it earlier, I came on here, I wanted to hear about a business. I've never, in my 40-year career, I've never gotten into a company. I'm a person that likes to make analytical decisions, but once I lock in at my heart. I was an athlete, I was a coach, and I've had a reasonably decent career in networking. And I've found through the years, if it's all in your head, it's all the analytical, the numbers and all that stuff, you might go far, but I'm going to tell you, you won't go as far as you can, because when you come together with the team and it's locked at the heart and you have a vision and a dream to lift one another up and build one another, you start to find out the beauty of being with some people that leave no person behind, no man, no woman. When Michael was talking about helping a single mom out, let me tell you something. There are people right now in their home crying and praying to find a solution for their future. And I'll be darned, if you don't go get them, I'll find them. I'll come out to your neighborhood and I'll go get them, because they need what we've got. They need the support and the help. And with that, I want to circle now all the way out to Wisconsin. And I think the football team out there, what are they, Wolverines? What are they out there? What's that team out there that the Wisconsin, they're Badgers, right, Andy? They're Badgers.
That's right.
So we're gonna turn it over to the head Badger right now. And by the way, if you don't know anything about Badgers, they are tough, bad. You know what? I'd say the backside of a body, but might not be appropriate on a company call. But Andy and Nancy, they are bad dudes and dudettes. They love people. They help people. They got a great history. I was in a company with them, and they went way up to the top of that company and made a big difference in people's lives. And I never had the opportunity to meet them. I would have loved to work with them, but here we are today. And why don't you take the balance of the call and just air it out, whatever you feel that you might want to add about yourself, your family, your dreams, what the mission of the company is. Just go where you want, Mr. Berman.
All right. Well, I mean, this is an incredible presentation tonight. I mean, Mark, thank you so much for those words of wisdom. Mike and Barbara, you guys are amazing. Mike Renz, what can I say? I mean, if you're brand new and you're watching this, you can team up and plug in with us, and the company is only as good as the people in the company. And I'm here to tell you that we've got some good roots in this company. And obviously you can judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. And this vehicle, this vision, this company, this movement is bearing fruit. And that's what has me so excited, because it's not about any one person. It's not a one company show. It's a movement that's taking place right now. And it's not because we're superstars. I mean, when you have timing like Mark talked about, and when you have something hot like the MPG cap, the X cap, it makes you look better than you really are. And we've been in companies where in our career, I've been involved since 1989. That's when I got recruited off a basketball court, and I was asked to go to the meeting. Well, I just wanted to play college basketball. I was 18 years old. And I went to that meeting all sweaty with the basketball on my lap. And the presenter was boring. I was looking out the window. I couldn't wait to get out of the meeting. And just to put a date on it, when the meeting was done, I ran out of the room and I started playing Pac-Man. I put a quarter in the Pac-Man video game. So this is going back a ways. And I got a tap on my shoulder, and it was from the guy who invited me to the meeting. And he said, Andrew, you might want to sign up because your buddy Dave just signed up, and he came in with a $5,000 order. And I didn't know Dave even had $5,000. We're 18. And the guy that invited me to the meeting, and the guy that told me this and then kicked me off of my game and said, hey, let me show you how to play Pac-Man. That guy was Eric Worre. And he started a company called GoPro about 10 years ago. And he's been an icon in this industry. And I got to spend the first 5 years, actually the first probably 8 years of my career, with two different companies working within the network marketing professionals organization on Metro Drive out of Bloomington, Minnesota. So I was thrown into the deep end of the pool right away. And I just absorbed, and I went to my first conference in Memphis, Tennessee, and there were 15,000 maniacs that were like myself. I wasn't the only one, and I was hooked from that moment on. And I've been full-time in the industry ever since, over 30 years. So I'm saying that to say this is that when I started, I didn't have any of the answers. I didn't even have any of the questions. I just showed up, and I was at every meeting. I was on every call. I went to every training, and I just studied, and I went to school. And Blaine, you talked about paying your dues and what that means for this moment in time that you've been called upon to lead. And I think that we're all in that position. I mean, everyone that has spoken has paid the price and paid their dues. And you hear that, you got to pay the price. Well, what does that mean? Well, paying the price means that you go to school and you get the training and you get the experience and you get the knowledge so you can lead others. Leader of one, leader of many. If I can't lead one, I can't lead any. And we're leading leaders now. We're the trainer of trainers. We've graduated, and we're in a timing position where, because of what happened in the US economy, the world economy over the last 2 years, I've never seen anything like this in my career, where so many people inside the network marketing space are saying, my check's down, my company's down. I think we can break every rule in this book. I think that we can do meetings on Saturday mornings and fill the room. I think we can do meetings on Friday night and fill the room. I think that we have to look at this from a different perspective, because we used to be in competition with other companies, and now we are the competition. Everybody's looking. And what a beautiful thing when you're not taking away from a health company, you're not taking away from a nutrition company, you're not taking away from a crypto company, you're adding to that person's their financial situation, their position. So when we started the company, we did not start this company initially. That wasn't the reason behind this. We wanted to bring this product, the cap, to our existing network and build it and explode it. That's what we wanted to do. We had gone through 2 years of COVID. We lost a flagship product. One of the ingredients in that nutritional product was banned by the FDA. And it was brutal, because when you have your lead product, your flagship product, when that stops, what do? How do you go back into the catalog and say, well, we were leading with this, now we're going to lead with this? Then about 2 months later, after our incentive trip that we won, and Mike and Tammy were on that trip with Nancy and I and about 60 other leaders, we went to Nassau, Bahamas. We spent a week at Atlantis Resort, and we came back home. And when we hit the airport at O'Hare in Chicago, it was all over the news that the country was shutting down because of this pandemic, which was called COVID-19. And so when we came back, everything changed. So we just lost our product, and then the whole world shut down because of COVID. So our check went from a full-time income to a part-time income, and the part-time people went from a part-time income to nothing at all. I was telling Blaine, our sponsor, his check went down. I mean, it just dropped like a rock. It's just unbelievable. And most of the people I've known over the years, and I talk to a lot of people, they tell me the same thing. So, years ago, Blaine, guys, it used to be like, if I was talking to Blaine, the timing would only be right for Blaine if he wasn't making big residual income as a top earner and leader in another company. And now everybody we talk to is saying the same thing. Andrew, you couldn't have called it a better time. And I make the mistake of prejudging people. And I make the mistake of thinking, this person's on my chicken list, I can't call them, they're going to tell me no. And then we speak to these people and they're all ears. I can't explain it. I mean, I know why it's happening. Again, you can judge a tree by the fruit that it bears. There's only one reason that this is happening. And so when we were denied or turned down, or when we were given the no by the board of directors, we don't want your product, we don't need your product. Our only intention was to bring this to our previous network to explode the sales. And I had to have a conversation with Nancy, and I said, Nancy, we sold over 300 million of these caps. I think these guys are nuts for turning us down, don't you? And she said, yeah. I said, we've got worldwide exclusive rights on this product. Nobody has it. Give you a little piece of information too. Mike talked about the product and how good it is, but the story behind it is bigger than anything we ever know. I mean, like Mark's down in Florida. I kind of know where you're at, Mark. You go up north a little bit and you go up to Cape Canaveral, and that's where NASA sends those space shuttles up into space. There's a direct correlation with our product and the booster that's used in those engines, those thrusters. I mean, this is the real deal, guys. This is no joke. This is a 35-year track record product. This has over 100,000 testimonials and proven results. We've got tests from Southwest Research Lab, from DHL. We've got European tests. We've got Latino. We could go on and on. I've got 12 of them in a file on my computer desktop right now. They'll be in your back office when it goes live. So we just decided we can't just say next and move on, because we knew we had a tiger by the tail. So we took it to someone we knew, someone we trusted. It's important that you know behind the curtain, and somebody who had a 20-year track record selling health and nutritional products, non-toxic, all natural products. products that I think are excellent, but they're not those silver bullet products. They're not these, you know what I mean? They're Me Too products, but they're really good. They're really good Me Too products, if that even makes sense. And so their business went from being a direct selling network marketing company to being just like an affiliate company after COVID. And here's a company with a track record of years of self-manufacturing in an 18,000 square foot warehouse with a full staff of employees and customer service and will call. You can walk in there, you can tour the building. They have millions of dollars worth of machines on their floor. I mean, this building and the office we're in is very impressive. And we used to run home office tours to show people that we weren't some fly-by-night on the cloud boiler room operation. I mean, this is the real deal, guys. You can come to the office and take photos. You got to set it up in advance, but I mean, we can make that happen. It's the real deal. So we took it to the right people and everything else just fell into place. We started sharing some samples. We started working on comp plan. We contacted some programmers. We wanted to be transparent and give people a real-time live look into their business. You hear those words, real-time commissions, real-time tracking, real-time data entry, because the companies that aren't showing you that information, it's the year 2022, it's all available. They're not showing you that information for a reason. I think Blaine kind of talked about that a little bit in the beginning. And he talked about the hurdles that you'll see in companies where they're just little things that make a big difference, and they're set in place to trip you up and to keep you from going to the next level. It's not fair. It's not right. But one of the games companies play is called throttling, and they can dial a pay down just like a casino can dial a slot machine down if it's paying out too much. They just turn it off and dial it down. And the same thing has been going on in our industry, and you probably didn't even know it, but every one of us on this presentation at some point in time has probably been throttled by an MLM company without us knowing it. So having full transparency and having a real-time look into your business. Who's ordering? What did they order? How much did it cost? What was the volume? How much did you earn? Who sold it? Where did it come from? Those are reports in the back office that I want to know. I want to be looking at the scoreboard, and if I'm in the game and I'm on the field, I want to know how much time is left, and I want to know what the score is, so I can set my game plan. And it's the same thing with our back office. It's real time. It's live time commissions. You're going to love it when you see it. It's going to go live in, I think, about 48 to 72 hours. So, I mean, you're going to be able to log in there and see it. I mean, a commission check demo where it posts your commissions in real time. We are hours away. We're not days away. We are now hours away. And you're going to get to see it, and you're going to get to register customers and take orders. And the biggest package we sell, it's $199. $199. And people have asked me, they've said, Andrew, you guys, you could sell a package for $1,500. Why don't you? And it's like, no, we're not doing that, because today's economy is not the economy before 2019. It's a post-COVID economy right now. Things are different today. That's why the price of gas is up. That's why the price of everything is up. And we're not trying to spend people out of this business by charging exorbitant upfront fees for founders packages and for these ridiculous bonus pools. We're not charging people beefy monthly fees where it takes hundreds of dollars on a monthly basis to qualify. The most you can spend on a premium package is $199. There's a $20 annual web fee for a total of $219. That's the biggest package you can come in with. And if you do a sale on the left and a sale on the right of that same package, you're going to cycle, you're going to be qualified, You're going to make money. You're going to make over $100 just by making those 2 sales. You do it again, you got all your money back, and it's like having free products. So if you retail your product, you can double your money. I mean, Blaine, I mean, we're so excited about this thing. We're talking to people that are dying to get into what we call the extreme marketplace. And what the marketplace is picture a farmer's market of products and services in a catalog. We are going to be like the Amazon of network marketing. So if you know of somebody that has a product that's not selling post-COVID, maybe it's a really good product, maybe it's a noni product, maybe it's an antioxidant product, I mean, it could be anything. Let us know. Go through the marketplace, get that info to Nancy and I, because we're looking for products that can go in that catalog, and then you'll earn a royalty on that. We're not going to just say, thank you, thanks for giving that to us. We're going to treat people fairly. We're going to treat them well. And people are going to come to the company because of the caps, and they're going to stay in the company because of the marketplace. It's a big deal, you guys. It's a really, really big deal. And the sky's the limit on it. And that's a global marketplace. So what's selling hot right now in Thailand might not be what's selling hot right now in Mexico or in, let's say, the United Kingdom. So we're looking at this from a global perspective. And then on top of it, weekly pay, real-time tracking, real-time commissions. We're going to take those 3 days in July that we'll have over the weekend to go live, put in apps, get the computer going, and we're going to roll those 3 days into August. So the 31 days in August, you're going to get 3 extra days to hit rank, because rank is based on monthly. So you'll have 34 days to hit rank in the month of August. So, I mean, there's going to be people that are going to go diamonds. There's going to be diamonds popping right out of the gate. I think I'm looking at like 5 of them right now. I mean, so the timing is really good. And for the part-time person, the person that just wants to make extra money, I don't know of a more, what's the word I'm looking for, timely business, because you're not getting rejection from people. Who do you know that uses gas? Everybody. It's a non-opinion product. The same question Blaine opened up with. Who do you know that would like to save money on gas? Everybody. And if the product works, and it really does work, how much money do you think we could make marketing that concept? And the sky's the limit. You just ask them, would you like more information? Let me put you on the phone with Mike Dew. Let me put you on the phone with Mark or Blaine or Michael Renz or Barbara. Let me put you on the phone with someone who can explain this to you. And we're closing people. Are you ready? In like 10 minutes or less. It's not a big drawn out process. I mean, honestly, this is probably one of the longest presentations that I've been on since we've been out there talking to people. It's been this one right now. And I think it's really good. But there's not really a whole lot to explain. So Blaine, I don't know if you have any specific questions you want, or if that's what you were looking for. Hopefully I didn't leave anything out, but you can tell. I mean, we're really excited because we know where this thing is going.
So folks, if you've taken the time to listen to this message, and this has been a lengthy meeting, as Andrew said, but you know, you're making a decision that could affect the balance of your life and your children's life and your friends' lives. So I just felt like we love to do 15-minute overviews. I love what Andrew said, and that's, you know, bring people to a close in 5-10 minutes, and it's easy to do that. But when you talk about relationship, we move in this industry at the speed of trust. And where are you going to get a chance to actually meet Andrew Burling or Mike and Barbara Dew? It's actually properly would be Barbara Bender, but not that I'm splitting hairs. And I want to just say to all of you this, where are you going to meet Michael Renz or Mark Campese or all of you? So this has been a bit extended, and I just want you to know that if I were getting in business with someone and every time I turned around, I felt like they were hurrying me out the door, rushing me just to get a deal made to make some money, I would probably not be somebody I'd want to deal with. I'd want to deal with someone that is actually going to pay attention. They say that people don't care what you know until they know that you care. This particular webinar we did tonight is an expression on behalf of the Worldwide Dream Team and our fabulous new company to tell you we care enough to let you get to know us. That's why we did it. If you're on this webinar tonight as an attendee and you'd like to make a comment, just give me one moment. I want you to get back with whoever brought you on this and get ready, get positioned to pounce. What you do in the next 30 days, what you do in the next 34 days, what you do next week, what you do tomorrow is going to make a big difference. We're going to have pay runs going on in August. And let me tell you, what you do right now will impact what you make in the holiday season. Can you imagine having an extra $1,000 or $2,000 a month or maybe a week going into Christmas? What life will be like for your family, that instead of looking under the tree and saying, I had to scrimp and save on this, maybe some of you will take some of that money and take your family to Hawaii or to Puerto Vallarta or to do something special rather than getting in the motorhome and going over to Uncle Frank's house and sleeping on the guest bed in the back room, right? So I want to encourage you to do it. So get back with the person who invited you and get started now. The worst case that's going to happen is you're going to end up having product you can use or you can market and have your money back. Hold on one moment.